very excited to make this announcement, our partnership with Freewheel, allowing us to access their premium publishers that are using, obviously, Freewheel as their primary ad server. We've, through this connection, now gained access to those particular publishers in a really highly efficient, highly optimized approach to, again, supporting these mutual customers that we have through monetization of their inventory.
And what will be the key benefits to that?
There are several. One, the integration in particular through programmatic module is quite sophisticated. It gives us the opportunity to start to explore higher standards, if you will, through testing of OpenRTB 2.6 as an example. That's certainly an important one. Beyond that, I think proximity to the media itself, to the owners of the media, is something that is incredibly important to us. I think we share a mutual obligation to our customers between us and Freewheel, which is to drive as much value as we possibly can to the publisher, to the media owner, to the broadcasters, all of whom sit atop the Freewheel platform. So with that shared sort of obligation, through this connection, we're able to fulfill it in a really meaningful way. And so it's not certainly limited to only standards. It's not limited only to this particular connection point. It's really a holistic view to ensuring that we are driving through our programmatic pipes the most value against their supply.
Mm-hmm. And who stands to be the biggest beneficiary from this integration?
We're strong believers in the notion of certainly choice and underpinned through competition. And I think it's ultimately the media owners themselves, the programmers and the broadcasters, by bringing more liquidity to the marketplace in which they are extracting advertising revenue from. That competitive dynamic allows for certainly maximizing the value of every impression, every available slot within the pods, if you will. And that's part of it. Maintaining, of course, the standards of quality in advertising. There are a subset, if you will, of programmers that sit atop Freewheel that are really representative of the most premium inventory. And so we have an obligation to certainly maintain those standards at the outset, but this is really about maximizing the value of the inventory of their audiences through this connection.
Okay, and we're at that time of the year when we're moving into a new year, 2024. How do you see 2024 playing out in the media world? Certainly, the prevalence of streaming TV greater than ever.
No question. I mean, from a consumption standpoint, from a consumer standpoint, there is continued growth as to be expected. Speaking for myself, it's where we consume content in my household. I think that's generally consistent across those that I speak to. From a marketer standpoint, there's never been a better time to be in streaming. As sort of represented through the connection that we now have with Freewheel, the quality and the access points through which to gain access to the audiences as a marketer that you're looking for have been really, really fine-tuned and optimized, again, leveraging the likes of 2.6. And so if you sort of boil it down to the win rates that a advertiser is measuring effectiveness, be it win rates or any other sort of key metrics, I would say that the time has never been better for a marketer. And so we expect more of their dollars to be allocated to this channel. Beyond that, I think there are other interesting contributing factors. Obviously, in the US, there is a national election that is coming up. Expectation is somewhere in the order of, I believe the number is $11 billion in total, roughly 15 to 20% of which is going to programmatic. So somewhere in the order of about 1.8 billion. So that infusion of net new incremental dollars, I think, into the channel is particularly interesting. So a number certainly of factors that are buoying the channel beyond what we've seen in 23, which was a really strong growth year.
And lastly, it's a busy week of conference talk here in London on the future of TV advertising. What are you taking away from the chatter, from the mood here?
A lot of positivity, to say the least, but not blind and sort of removed from the challenges certainly that lie ahead. I think that there's a lot that remains to be solved for within streaming in particular. from measurement to the complexity of for an advertiser to get their dollars through to the audiences they seek. I would say that we've got our work cut out for us in ad tech, and I think therein lies the opportunity, frankly. And so I'm certainly absorbing a lot of that chatter, a lot of that content over the course of this week. It gives me a lot of, I think, important details to bring back to our product teams and to ensure that we are ultimately focused on resolving and improving the current state of the offering.